Now invite the angel that stand at the door to come in and sup with us, and us with him as we read out of this great legacy. The greatest love story ever told, more valuable than silver and gold. Many are called, but few are chose. Yahweh willing, we make it home. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. About the gospel and the epistles and all the letters in the New Testament. This the new covenant congregation of Israel. We off in Decatur, seeking out the lost sheep of the house of Yehudah, singing praises to Yahweh and his son Yeshua. Now all the men of Israel rise on up. We be say the commandments. Look, mama, no fringes. His mercy endures forever. Blessed to see another Sabbath, the Sabbath day of the week, where all his saints gather. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Lead the world out there. Sisters, cover your hair. Brothers, gird your loin. Deacon, blow the ram's horn. Now sit back and listen. What the Spirit saying to the churches. Keep his commandments, law, statutes, and judgments. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 and 5. Whoever said the law was done away with Israel, they lied. What part of forever that they don't understand? As it is written, his saints will take the land. Now invite the angel that stand at the door to come in and sup with us, and us with him as we read out of this great legacy. The greatest love story ever told, more valuable than silver and gold. Many are called, but few are chose. Yahweh willing, we make it home. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, Judah. Shabbat shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh's Sabbath. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom, my sister. This means Yahweh Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Judah. Shabbat Shalom, Israel. This means peace on Yahweh Shalom. We read it, not the Torah. We read it from the prophets, the wisdom books, and the Psalms. Can't forget about the gospel and the epistles and all the letters in the New Testament. This the new covenant congregation of Israel. Surface, beyond the surface, beyond the surface, wicked confusion. Got black folk experiencing strong delusions. Got ears that can't hear, mouths, eyes that can't see, that they can see and say, oh, it's out of time. They saying God's witness, and you wondering why the innocent blood is shed. That's called Satan's in the earth. He's walking to doing what he's told. He in his status quo. Tempted man with pleasure and wickedness, denying the master, saying don't keep his commandments. Our wisdom and our knowledge in the sight of nations, but you love earthly riches than salvation. That means get safety from tribulation and wrath. The Broadway leads to death and half. Preach the gospel, spread the good news. The son of Elohim, Yahshua, king of the Jews, not king of the Christians. That's when they do Christ like. They criminals of Yahweh, outlaws in his sight. Same-sex marriage is okay with the president. That old serpent, the devil, is controlling the government. No prayer in the school system, no truth in the black churches. That's food in our neighborhoods, children killing with no mercy. Look beyond the surface and show yourself approved. Do your own research, seek the spirit of truth. Beyond the surface, beyond the surface, beyond the surface.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to the Beyond the Surface program. My name is Yosef ben Israel, and I'm the elder priest of the Cultural Center of the New Covenant Congregation of Israel. We're located at 3901A Covington Highway in Decatur, Georgia, 30032. Our phone number is 404-286-5869. The website is www.thencci.org. Again, welcome to the Beyond the Surface program. Today's topic is these are the times of the Gentiles. Let me repeat that. These are the times of the Gentiles. Now, if you watched this program before, you know you must have your Bibles out to follow along with what we're talking about today. White Christians understand the word Gentiles as it is written in the Bible. Most black Christians do not understand the word Gentile. And we know this because the word Gentile is never heard in their Christian conversations. White Christians know that they are Gentiles. And following the lead of white Christians, black Christians claim to be Gentiles also. According to the prophecies, the world has been given into the hands of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. In other words, Yahweh gave this whole world into the hands of white people for a set length of time. And once that time is up, the times of the Gentiles would have been fulfilled, and they will no longer rule the world. And because the world is in the hands of white people, black people are jealous. Black people even claim that America actually belongs to them, but that is not according to Scripture. Yahweh gave America into the hands of white people, and no one has taken it away. They have been and still are the most powerful people on this earth, and they have ruled it as they pleased. No need in getting jealous of white people. Yahweh gave the whole earth into their hands. And so that has to be according to the scripture, according to the prophecies. Yes, America and all the rest of Europe are in the hands of white people. Now, again, we understand, white people understand that they are Gentiles, but that's not the sole determinant being a Gentile. The Chinese are Gentiles. The Japanese are Gentiles. The people in India are Gentiles, and the Indians over here are Gentiles. We are Shemitic. We are Hebrews. And the people in Africa are Hamitic. They are Africans. They are not the same people. Even though we may look alike, we may look like Africans, Africans may look like us, but we're not the same people. We've gone over this before. Now, let's see who does the Bible say are the Gentiles. Let's start this off in Genesis chapter 10. In Genesis chapter 10, it said, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. You remember the great flood? And Yahweh saved Noah and his household and certain animals. Well, now Yahweh is beginning to repopulate the earth. And it started out with these three boys here of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, let's see who the Gentiles are. The sons of Japheth, Gomer. Well, Gomer, who is Gomer? Gomer would be called the Celtics of today. And Magog and Madai, these will be called Russians of today. And Javan, they will be called the Greeks. And Tubal and Meshech, they will be called Russians. And Tyrus would be the Italians. Verse 3, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, they will be the Russians. And Riphath, that's in Asia Minor. And Togarmah, that is in Turkey. And the sons of Javan, Elisha and Tarshish. Now Elisha would be the Greeks, and Tarshish would be the Spanish, would be Spain. And Kittim and Dodanim will be called the Greeks. So look at, these are the beginning of these people. And that's what they were called different names back in those days, but when you trace back their history, they line up with the people that we have today. Verse 5, by these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue and after their families in their nations. So this is where all white people came from. This is where all the rest of the nations come from, the sons of Noah. I'm going to pick this up at verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. Well, Cush will be what we call the Ethiopians of today. And Mizraim was called Egypt. Now, if you look at the Cushites, you look at the Ethiopians, you see that they are dark-skinned people. And Mizraim, if you look at the pictures on the Egyptian tombs, Mizraim was the Egyptians, and they were a black-skinned people. And Phut and Canaan, being brothers of Cush and Mizraim, they would be also black. But they're Hamites. These are the people we call Hamites. The Africans are Hamites according to the Bible. Let's see what else. Let's pick this up at verse 21 and verse 22. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. Now we come from Shem. Shem were dark-skinned people also. So that what we have here, are a dark-skinned people. Even Japheth's people were dark-skinned people. His sons were dark-skinned people. So the question is, why do we have so many different colors of people, and why so many differences in the people if they started out looking the same? That's a mystery. Because white people, the Gentiles, have used their skin color to show the world that they are a superior people. That's the dumbest thing that's ever been done. But the people that have fallen for it are black people. They think that the world is determined by the skin color. So if you're white, you're known to rule the world. If you're black, you don't rule nothing. So they judge you according to your skin color. That's not written in the Bible anywhere. According to what's written in the Bible, people are judged by what nation they come from, not what skin color. Skin color came from the Renaissance period in Europe. Well, they depended on the white skin to show their superiority. And it's been like that since the Renaissance period in the 1500s. It's been like that ever since. So black people think that your skin color has something to do with your character. No, it does not. There are many dark-skinned black people that are geniuses, and they are great orators and public servants. Skin color has nothing to do with it. That's something white people came up with. But then again, they rule the world, and they rule it according to how they want to rule it. All right, these are the times of the Gentiles. Let's go to Genesis 11, verse 1 to verse 9. Now again, remember now, Noah had 3 boys, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They were the same color. And they had children that were the same color. So there wasn't a white Japheth, or a dark-skinned Ham, or a dark-skinned Shem. They were all the same color. They were all dark-skinned. So the skin color, that's a mystery. But let's continue. This is Genesis 11, verse 1 to verse 9. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. Now again, this is after the great flood. And Noah's boys had them children. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Well, where is Shinar? Well, Shinar is Iran or Persia, and is now east of the Babylon, or land of Shinar. So again, the land of Shinar would be east of Babylon. And they all spoke the same language. And they said one to another, verse 3, they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. The first indication that people want to go to heaven. And Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And Yahweh said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So Yahweh scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build a city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because Yahweh did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did Yahweh scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. So mankind started in one place. And they wanted to go to heaven. They built a city and a tower to go to heaven. And so Yahweh confounded their languages so they wouldn't understand one another, so they had to stop building that tower in that city. And now everybody's in the land that they're supposed to be in. All right? So at that point, when they split off from building that tower into their own land, that must have been when the physical change came about. Now, we don't know why. But one thing is for sure, when it comes to Africa, it isn't the sun that changes a man's color. Now, any place where there's a lot of sunshine, yeah, a white man can can get a tan, but it can't turn him black. The sun does not turn you black. So that skin color thing comes from somewhere else. We don't know why there are so many different skin colors and why so many different textures of hair and why so many people look so differently. We don't know that yet. But that's a mystery, but that mystery may be resolved if you live long enough to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And you can have all your questions answered. But for the time being, we just have to deal with this as it is. Now everybody's in their own land, but we're still concentrating on the Gentiles. Where in the Bible does it say that the Gentiles, white people, would rule the world? Well, let's find that out. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 1 to verse 8. Then we're going to pick this up at verse 15 to verse 26. Daniel chapter 7, verse 1 to verse 8. Then we're going to pick it up at verse 15 to verse 26. Let's see where it says white people are supposed to rule the world. Now see, when you read the Bible, you can't look at it as something that you approve of. This is the word of Yahweh here. He does not care about skin color. He created all things. So if he says it's going to be that way, there's nothing you can do to stop it. This is in Daniel chapter 7, verse 1 to verse 8. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Well, that would equate into the Babylonian Empire. This is one of the beasts that Daniel saw. One of the great beasts that Daniel saw was the Babylonian Empire, and this is how it is represented as a lion and had eagle's wings. That would be the Babylonian Empire. Verse 5, and behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise and devour much flesh. Well, this would be the Medo-Persian Empire. Well, remember when we read in the book of Genesis, all the land people were divided into their lands? Well, the Medo-Persian Empire would equate to Russia and Iran of today. They were together back in these days, and they're together today. They have a relationship. But those are also Gentiles. The Iranians are Gentiles. The Russians are Gentiles. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Well, this would be that third world empire. We had the Babylonian Empire, we had the Medo-Persian Empire. Now we got what we call the Greek Empire. That is what that represents. It said, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Again, that would be the Greek Empire. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Well, this last beast will be the Roman Empire. Let's continue. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Well, that little horn turns out to be the papacy. And the 3 horns of the first, the 3 horns of the first plucked up by the roots. The papacy plucked up after the Roman Empire fell. It was invaded by the Heruli, the Vandals, and the Ostrogoths. Well, those are the 3 horns that the papacy plucked up out of the Roman Empire. And eventually it evolved into the Holy Roman Empire, right? Because Rome fell in 476 AD. And so after that, Rome became the Roman Catholic Church. That used to be the Roman Empire. Over there in Italy, that's where Rome is. That used to be where the Roman Empire began. So we just want to get these things straight, because look at the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans are Gentiles. Now, the Babylonians will be Shemitic. Right? They would be, again, those are also dark-skinned people, but again, they didn't go by skin color back in these days. We've been deceived by the doctrine of skin color. When the Bible talks about nations, let's continue. Again, let's pick this up at verse 15 to verse 26. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts, which are 4 kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and even forever and ever. That verse 18 is taken out of context. It's like parenthetical. It was inserted because it doesn't go along with the flow of the rest of the verses. In verse 19, it says, Then I would know the truth of the 4th beast, which was diverged from the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Again, that would be the papacy. That would be the popes. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Now, that would be us. So we're skipping ahead here to the end time scenario of that one world order that's coming to pass even as we speak. Why do you think it's so much confusion in the world? That's all strategy. That's all been thought up years ago. Because the one world order has to be set up, and this one world order will make war against Yahweh's saints. Why? Because in that one world order, you're going to be forced to take that name, number, and mark. You're going to be forced to worship an image. You're going to be forced, and you understand what the Roman Catholic Church is all about. When they believe in homosexuality, you're going to be forced to participate. If you don't take that name, number, and mark, that means you won't have access to food and housing. And that's what a lot of black women are going to fall, because they're going to take that name, number, and mark to feed their children. But again, it says it's going to make war with the saints. And that would be the papacy. That would be the Catholic Church. I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Again, that would be in verse 18, where they're going to take the kingdom. Thus he said, the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Who else can do this but white people? They have the power, the military power, to project themselves into any country on earth in less than a day. That's unheard of. But that's what the book says. Now, these are white people. They can do these things. Black people can't do it. The Africans can't do it. But white people can. Because the world has been given into their hands by Yahweh. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and the dividing of time. That would be 3.5 years. Right? We're still looking at that one world order. And that's how long the one world order will last, 3.5 years. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end. So even though that one world order will be set up, that will be the end of the times of the Gentiles. Let's continue. Let's go to Daniel chapter 2 and verse 31 and verse 43. Daniel chapter 2. We're going to see the same thing, except it's going to be phrased a little bit differently than what Daniel said. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 31 to verse 43. Now, Nebuchadnezzar has a dream, and it's an image of a great image, but Nebuchadnezzar cannot remember the dream, so he put out the order for all the astrologers and Chaldeans and everybody that's into sorcery to come and explain to him what the dream meant. But they could not, because he didn't remember the dream, and they asked him, tell us the dream and we can interpret it for you. Really? I'm just getting started. But Nebuchadnezzar could not remember the dream. And so Nebuchadnezzar said, I want you to kill every wise man in my kingdom. And so they came to Daniel, Daniel being a Jew, and the soldier said, I got to kill you. And Daniel said, why is the king so hasty? Let me figure this thing out. Let me go to my God and see what he says about this. So Yahweh brought it to him, and this is what Daniel said. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, and his legs of iron, the feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together. It became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. Now that again would be the Babylonian Empire. Verse 39, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee. Well, that would be the Medo-Persian Empire. And another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. That would be the Greek Empire. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, For as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Well, we're talking about the evolution of the Roman Empire into the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church would try to spread their doctrine all over the world, but by that time, the Christianity had divided into the Protestant, and they didn't want anything to do with the Catholic Church. So that was that iron that could not be mixed with clay. And they're still here today. So that, again, that fourth kingdom will be the Roman Empire. They eventually evolved into the Roman Catholic Church, and the Roman Catholic Church evolved into the Protestant and the Catholic Church. And then you have the Eastern Orthodox Church. And so that's over in Russia. So they couldn't spread the Catholicism everywhere. They did. They were successful in Africa. And then you got some Catholics over here in America. But they couldn't mingle together. So I just wanted to get that clear about who the Gentiles are. Remember now, they came up with Christianity. White people came up with Christianity. You cannot find Christianity in the Bible nowhere. You cannot find where it says Christ started Christianity. You cannot find in the Bible where Paul brought Christianity to the Gentiles. He did not. Read the book carefully and find in it where it says Christ started Christianity. And the only reason people say that is because they never read the Gospels. If you ever read the Gospel, you would see that it was impossible for Christ to start Christianity. Read the Gospels. And while I'm telling you this, let me invite you out to the Cultural Center of the New Covenant Congregation of Israel. Again, we're located at 3901A, Covington Highway, in Decatur, Georgia, 30032. Our phone number is 404-286-5869. The website is www.thencci.org. We have a prophecy class every first day of the week, which is Sunday, at 11 o'clock a.m. Come on out and join us and read about the prophecy we just read about this morning. Read about the prophecies that pertain to you today. And if you cannot join us in person, you can join us on Facebook and on YouTube. We have a history class every third day of the week, which is Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Come on out. We show you what the Bible says your history is, because the Bible is your history book, and because Yahweh is so merciful that he preserved this book for thousands of years just for us to read and understand that the Bible has everything to do with us. It has nothing to do with Christianity. It has everything to do with Yahweh, our Elohim, and us, his people, the children of Israel. We are the children of Israel. And the whole book is about us, and Yahweh and us. So come on out. If you cannot join us in person, you can join us on Facebook and on YouTube. And we have a sisters-only class every fifth day of the week, which is Thursday night at 8 o'clock p.m. You can join the sisters on Zoom. And lastly, we have a Sabbath service every seventh day of the week, which is Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Come on out and see what it is like to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. If you cannot join us in person, you can join us on Facebook and on YouTube. Now let's continue about what does it say that the Gentiles would rule the world. Let's go to Revelation 13, verse 1 to verse 10. And this is that one world order. Revelation 13, verse 1 to verse 10. And I stood, this is John the Revelator, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Does that not sound familiar? Did we not read this in the book of Daniel about those 4 great empires? Do they not sound like this one here in verse 2 of the Revelation 13? So we're talking about a world empire contained, these are Gentiles, and these are people that will be part of that authority that will be part of that one world order. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Well, that deadly wound was the fall of the Roman Empire. And so now you're going to have the revived Roman Empire. That's what this is all going to be about, the revived Roman Empire. And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him? You couldn't make no war with the Roman Empire. Same thing is going to happen now, today. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. That's 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Elohim, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Well, I can't think of anybody else on earth or in history that have been taken into captivity but us. We've been taken into captivity. So those that put us in captivity, you're going into captivity too, under us. Now let's continue. Let's go to Revelation 6. Now I'm going to skip that. That's a little long. Where's America in the Bible? And we've gone over this before. Let's go back over it again, because it may have new people that had not heard this. Let's go to Genesis 15. America's already in Genesis. Check that out. Genesis 15, verse 1 to verse 14. After these things, the word of Yahweh came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Master Elohim, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus? And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. And he believed in Yahweh, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am Yahweh that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees, to give thee this land to inherit it. And he said, Adonai Elohim, whereby should I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, Take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another, but the birds he divided not. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. That's us. Look at what it says here. It says, Your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. America is not our land. America belongs to white people. When are you going to get that in your head, black people? You can't take this land from white people. You can't negotiate this land from white people. Yahweh gave this land to them. And you think you can take America from white people? You can't own your own house. You can't control your own house, and you think you can control a multi-trillion-dollar economy? In your neighborhoods, money flows just one time, rotates just one time in your neighborhood, and it goes out. Didn't used to be that way. America is not your land. You don't belong here. You belong in the land of Israel, the land promised to Abram. Because this is what this is all about. It's about land. And Yahweh said, I'm going to give you this land, but understand something. Your seed is going to be in a land that's not theirs, and they shall be afflicted and shall serve them. That serve also means slave. So we're looking at us. It says for 400 years. Well, 400 years was up in 2019. And look what happened in 2019. You had the COVID-19, didn't you? And from that point on down to now, America has gone downhill. Her destruction is at hand. Yahweh is judging America. That's why you're having so much trouble here. Yahweh is judging America. Why? Because of what America did to us. Not because she's off into abominations and homosexuality and idol worship, but what she did to us. Yahweh's angry with America. But just to let you know, America is in the book of Genesis, all because of us being Abram's seed. So this America is the only place that we've been here, that anybody's been in anywhere for 400 years. But Yahweh's going to bring us out of here. And then once he brings us out of here, Yahweh's going to judge America. Oh, that's backward. Yahweh's going to judge America before we come out of here. Let me read that again. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. So Yahweh's going to judge America, but after we're going to come out with great substance. Okay. Let's go to Jeremiah. Again, we're trying to find what America is in the Bible. Let's go to Jeremiah 50, verse 1 to verse 7. Jeremiah 50, verse 1 to verse 7. The word that Yahweh spake against America and against the land of the Aryans by Jeremiah the prophet. Now, it says Babylon here. Now, if you remember, when we read up in Genesis chapter 11, that Yahweh caused the people that built that tower to heaven to not understand one another, and they called the place Babel, which means confusion. But Babylon is it's the same thing as Babel. So Babylon represents confusion. America, with all her gods and all the different languages and all the different people, that is confusion also. So we put two and two together, and Babylon equates to America. And the Chaldeans equates to what we call the Aryans, because that's what white people want to be, Aryans. So let me read that again. The word that Yahweh spake against America and against the land of the Aryans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, America is taken, the Lord, Baal is Baal, and Baal means the Lord, is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. In those days and in that time, saith Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Yehudah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahweh their Elohim. They shall ask the way to Zion, which with their faces thitherward, saying, Come, and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from the mountain to hill. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. Black people don't know who they are. They don't know where they come from. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. They have oppressed us. They have killed us, and they have never felt any remorse for killing us, burning us alive, lynching us. They have never had any remorse or regret for doing this to us. That's why it says here, it says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned away from the mountains, and they have gone from mountain to hill. All that found them have devoured them. Their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. So, they're looking at us and say, you don't have a God. So it doesn't matter what we do to you. You're not even considered human. Let's continue. Let's go to Isaiah 47, verse 1 to verse 6. Isaiah 47, verse 1 to verse 6. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Europe. Now, President Kennedy went over to France and gave a speech and proclaimed that America is the daughter of Europe. That's why we read it like this. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Europe. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Aryans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Aryans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Remember in New York Harbor, you got the Statue of Liberty, right? I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Who else does this happen to? White people passed laws specifically targeting us. Again, they had to make an amendment to the United States Constitution to abolish slavery, because we were slaves at the time that the Constitution was written. And the Amendment 14, Article 14, granted us citizenship. Now, they had to do that because slavery was going out of business and people didn't like slavery. We had the abolitionist movement, so they finally gave in. And so, but they have to answer for what they have done to Yahweh's people. Let me read that again. I was wroth with my people. Yahweh was angry with us. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Yahweh put us here in America. You did show them no mercy. Upon the ancient has thou very heavily laid thy yoke. That is why Yahweh is angry with America. It's because of the way they treated his people. You understand? You see what's going on in America now? It's because of what America did to Yahweh's people. Yahweh put us here in America and made us stay here 400 years. Now, y'all say, well, God doesn't do things like that. You don't understand Yahweh. Yahweh is not like the gods that y'all used to. Y'all God like to say, well, God loves everybody. That ain't written in the Bible nowhere. So that is a God of your imagination. This God here, Yahweh, he does not play. He's letting you know, I don't play. I made everything. I created everything. So it's not, you ain't got no game for me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. That's Yahweh. Yahweh does all these things. And as soon as you accept that, then things may get a little bit better for you. But if you got your own God, like the God of white people, or the God of the Arabs, well, that's not the God written about in the Bible. Because look at how y'all treated us. Look at how the Muslims treated us. They enslaved us before white people enslaved us. Haven't you heard of the Saharan slave trade? The Saharan slave trade. That was the Muslims enslaving our people. Y'all was going to get them too. I know we ain't got but a minute. Let's go to Jeremiah 51, verse 12 to verse 14. Well, I'll tell you what, that was, let's move from there and go to Luke chapter 21, verse 20 to verse 24. Luke chapter 21, verse 20 to verse 24. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. He's talking about the Jews. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Again, Yahweh gave the whole earth into the hands of the Gentiles only for a set length of time. And so that time is coming to an end. Next year, in 2026, on July the 4th, or the 4th of July, America will be 250 years old. Statistics show that empires last 250 years. So you look at what's going on in America now, look what's going to happen on the 4th of July. That's the end of an empire. So white folks, I know you want to save America, but according to the Bible, America has to be destroyed. Let's go to Jeremiah again. They said, what would happen to the Gentiles once that time is fulfilled? Let's go to Jeremiah 16 and verse 19. Jeremiah 16 and verse 19. O Yahweh, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. They're going to realize they've been hating the wrong people. They've been saying all manner of lies against us. And they're going to realize that all of them lies that they advanced against us was passed down from their fathers. There was once a time that white soldiers spread the lie out during the Korean War that black men had monkey tails. And the Koreans started looking at the butts of black men to see if that was true. So all those lies that white people said against us, you're going to have to answer for that. You're gonna come up to Yahweh and say, we have inherited lies and vanities and things wherein there is no profit. Where they inherited from their fathers. See, at one time, you thought the black people needed to be enslaved because they couldn't take care of themselves. But now look at what black people are. Black people know fully well how to take care of themselves. So that was that white superiority thing going on. They thought they were the only game in town. that nobody was smarter than white people. Well, time did tell that, yeah, there are people smarter than white people. Look at the people that are running your banks, that are running your judicial system, that's running Hollywood. They are much smarter than white people. So what you going to do, white folks? Because if you get them upset, they're going to cry out anti-Semitism. You are of Hitler. But they're smarter than you, white people. They're much smarter than you. They've taken over your country. So Yahweh gave this country into your hands, but you let some more people come and talk you out of it. And they have used you. And you know it, and you can't do a damn thing about it. Why? Because they'll throw that thing out down on television and in magazines that white people are racist. That white people hate the Jews. They can't stand that. White people cannot stand being called racist. It hurts their feelings because they want to be seen as a fair-minded people. But you look at your history, you ain't got too much to build upon, because we got images of black people being lynched and burned alive, and white people standing around and having lunch. They call it a picnic. Well, black men are hanging from trees and they're sitting there eating. So, yeah, you got a pretty bad history, white folks. I'm sorry. Yeah, but you got to answer for that. Yeah, you live deliciously. You make all this money. You live in the best houses, and you put us in the ghetto. So, yeah, but that's all right, because we have a better day coming. I want to thank you for joining us. Yahweh bless you and keep you. Shabbat Shalom.